I'll do it today with this class.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Right. So here we are in day 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday we have completed this Python stuff, right? So
Mm-hmm.
after yesterday, just please go through each and every cell of the
Mm-hmm.
notebook, whatever I have shared so far. You have all the notebooks with you, right? So let
Yeah.
me try to do it. So, is it, it should be here. So, right. Not this as well. August 26th. Yes. Yep. So, and giving you this GitHub link so that you can download all the notebooks from here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use this. So today's class, we are going to use this one.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
HNA, text generation tools and variants. This notebook only we are going to use. Anyway, we are not going to write any code. So today,
Mm-hmm.
that is one good thing. And in today's class, we will be covering about what is generative AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what is the buzzword in the industry right now. Everywhere, wherever
Mm-hmm.
you go, Gen AI, Gen AI, Gen AI. Even in companies also they were capturing with the term called Gen AI, right?
Mm.
So even in your college also you could have heard about it,
Yeah.
Gen AI conferences, generating AI everywhere, wherever they will just simply pull some speaker. I don't know whether those people don't really have some understanding about it or not. They will come and they will talk about machine learning, right?
Mm.
So generative AI is a subset area of this data set.
Mm.
Okay. So I can summarize generative AI like this. Let's have another. So see everything, this whole internet, computers, whatever you name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is running on top of data.
Mm.
Data means what? Everything is represented as zeros and ones,
Mm.
right? So in real world, wherever you are seeing a digitized stuff in the sense your SMS, your WhatsApp message, your Telegram message, or your emails, or whatever it might be,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whatever you are accessing something electronically, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
those are called as data, right? So this is the simplest definition of data.
Mm-hmm.
So why data is more important? Suppose if I want to know about the behavior of how Divya is doing, right? So if I have your social media information,
Mm-hmm.
right? So by that time, by with that information itself, I can predict your interests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on the pages what you are liking. Suppose if you are having a Facebook account, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you might have liked someone related to the music, some foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what Facebook is doing that they are just simply using that information, and with that information alone, that is anyway again that's the data only, right? So with that information alone, they are selectively targeting some ads, and they are showing it to you,
Mm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
under the hood, everything is run by data. So means that business is empowered with data. Business needs the data,
Mm.
right? So if we are talking in that context, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
here, if you see, in any country, be not only in India, you can imagine any country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now the number of smartphone users have grown up so far,
Mm.
right? So everyone is producing and consuming a lot of data.
Mm.
Consuming in the sense, if you are watching Instagram reels, that means that we are consuming the data,
Mm-hmm.
right? Someone is creating the Instagram reels, right? So they are
Yeah.
producing the data.
Yeah.
If you are creating a Facebook post, you are producing a data, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the producer and consumers are a different segment. But what exactly you need to consume, that is being decided by the corporates,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they
Yeah.
are like they are the platform holders. Like Meta is there, Facebook is there, Google
Yeah.
is there. Google is deciding you on what videos you need to watch on YouTube, right? They are suggesting you the videos,
Yeah.
right? How they are suggesting it? That's because of your user preference, like what exactly you are liking. Then only
Mm-hmm.
you can stay on YouTube. Otherwise, you will move on to Daily Motion or Vimeo,
Mm,
right? So if they want to retain the subscriber base, they need the data, they need your information, they need your preferences, right?
mm-hmm.
So from the business standpoint, they always think about data from the user data perspective. And also networks has evolved and the transmission of data got so much of bigger,
Mm,
right? So now the world is filled with data everywhere, right?
mm-hmm.
So to do that, to process, to play with the data alone, right? There are three streams of engineering which is high in the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one is data science, sorry, one is data engineering. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, there is a field called data science.
Mm,
This is clubbed with machine learning as well.
okay.
Okay, so the
Mm-hmm.
outcome will be artificial intelligence. Okay. From the scratch perspective, now you have data in multiple sources, right? You have data in your mobile, you have data in your laptop, you have data
Mm-hmm.
online, you have data offline, right? You
Mm-hmm.
aggregate all the data for for getting some insight. Okay. For
Yeah.
that, there is an area called the data engineering. What they will do, they will simply do extract, transform, and loop.
Mm-hmm.
ETL. So they are responsible for extracting the data from every source and they can transform the data into a single format and they will load the data into something called data lakes, data warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they will simply store all the data into a single point. So that now once the data is getting aggregated, right? On
Yeah.
top of that data, statisticians and experts can apply some insights on top of it and they can conclude a solution,
Mm,
right? So for that particular purpose, this data science roles come. Okay, this is always overlapping with machine learning as well. So
mm,
in data science, they have more probability and statistics and lesser mathematics.
mm,
Okay, but in machine learning, here there is more mathematics and lesser probability and statistics. But
mm,
either in both the fields, if you want to excel in both the fields, you need mathematics and statistics, like probability and
mm,
statistics.
okay.
Okay. So please concentrate on your mathematics and
Mm,
statistics stuff because
mm-hmm.
this field is booming like anything.
Mm,
Okay, machine learning dependent jobs alone, a lot of jobs are coming.
okay.
Okay, generative AI is one such subset only. That's
Mm,
from machine learning, like this.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So data science means they are doing some calculations, they are doing some predictions, right? Based
Mm,
on that data, and they can predict an user behavior,
mm,
right? How your user looks like. And suppose in case in Twitter some sentiments are happening, right? So some war is happening. If I
yeah.
have the huge Twitter data, I can predict it and I can do a sentimental analysis over there so that I can see like what the market is behaving right now. And based on that, in stock markets also, I can make some decisions, right?
Mm,
So those kind of stuff and all comes under this data science, right? And after that, there is a broad subset called machine learning. Okay, so that
mm,
is that is the biggest area in data. So machine learning means you will be preparing the models.
okay.
Model in the sense like you are trying to generalize one big source, one big data source.
Mm,
Okay, under that you will put all your architectural stuff, all your
mm,
decision making stuff, like this you can
mm,
understand.
mm,
Okay, so
mm,
for the decision making stuff and all, you can package it along with your data, with your knowledge repository, and you
Mhm.
can distribute it. So this particular knowledge repository along with the decision making stuff, right? So
Mhm.
decision making stuff in the sense that includes all the algorithms, whatever you do, right?
Mhm.
You're packaging these two stuffs into a single item, right? So that single item is called as a model.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so that model is the one which is having the language repository. You know, that can be trained on anything. It can be trained on images, it can be trained on videos, right? So
Mhm.
that is called as a model. So anyway, from this point onwards, in Gen AI, we will speak about model.
Mm.
Means that you can understand that that is a pre-prepared data structure. So means that that is a pre-prepared knowledge repository, which is
Mhm.
also having the mechanism inbuilt for searching, augmenting, retrieving, or doing some operations inside.
Mm.
Okay. Likewise, there is a broad subset called machine learning. In machine learning, there are a lot of algorithms, right?
Mhm.
Support vector machines, XGBoost, random forest, decision trees. Likewise, lot of stuffs are happening inside machine learning. So
Mhm.
those things and all are subsets of machine learning algorithms, right?
Mhm.
The same way, there is a broad field called the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a broader area. It's not general.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a broader area in the sense it's like with the data what we have given. Okay, out of
Mhm.
that context, it is trying to make a decision,
Mm.
right? It's almost like a decision making system. That's what human is doing, right? What my brain is doing, how
Mhm.
I am speaking right now. It's
Mm.
actually it's actually embedded in my brain, right?
Mm.
So my brain might contain lot of words and lot of constructs, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
like how my brain is encoded. So inside my brain there are a lot of neural connections,
Mhm.
right? So these neural connections are connected with each and every single cell of my brain. So out
Mhm.
of that, if I am thinking about something, okay, so if
Mhm.
I am seeing something, take for an example, if I am seeing something, if I am seeing a uh, system in front of me, if I am seeing a laptop in front of me, right?
Mhm.
How I am recognizing this as a laptop? Because I know how a laptop looks like. My brain already knows that this is how a laptop looks like, right? With that
Mhm.
knowledge, I am understanding it, and I am saying that this is a laptop, like, right? So for
Mhm.
that, actually, there are some. If you consider it in the system standpoint, okay, there are some millions of transactions which is happening from my
Mhm.
eye to my brain, right?
Mm.
So it's all connected with some neural stuff. So
Mm.
this neural stuff. So what engineers did from 1970, they have tried to build some decision making systems
Mhm.
out of the human thinking. Like they were trying to simulate human thinking.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. For that, what they did, they have simply built up something called deep learning systems. Deep learning systems, in the sense, like how our neurons are storing this information, right? They just simply replicated that stuff and they wanted to build something out of it, right?
Mm.
On computers. Okay. So
Yeah.
in computers, they have tried to create this artificial neuron kind of stuff, not in a physical format, in a logical format. Okay. They were
Mhm.
trying to attach the memory, attach the bytes, bits and pieces in a network format. And they have made it like deep neural networks, recurrent neural networks. Likewise, like lot of stuffs are happening in machine. So
Mhm.
like whenever I am talking about AI, I need to talk about machine learning as well. So these and all are part of machine learning, deep learning, all this.
Okay.
So, from our standpoint, artificial intelligence is a broader area. Okay,
Mm.
means that it can be used for self-driving cars, right? Your
Mhm.
Tesla is doing self-driving, right? You could have experienced it, right? Maybe you
Mhm.
might have the car. So
Mm.
Tesla is doing self-driving, and also
Mhm.
like wherever you go, like everywhere you can see some kind of artificial intelligence stuff. You maybe
Mm.
speed cams are there. The speed cams, what it is doing, it is simply recognizing your car number plate and it is
Mhm.
sending a challan to your home when you are
Mm.
exceeding your speed, right? So
Yeah.
these things and all, like these are a kind of a intelligence behind it, right? But there
Mhm.
is no human over there, right?
Okay.
A human's job is getting replaced by that. So that's why we are calling it as artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Uh, in this artificial intelligence itself, there is some creative area.
Mhm.
Creative area in the sense you can generate text, you can generate video, you can generate images, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
for that particular purpose, we have a subset of AI called generative AI.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
technically speaking, there is something called generate generative, what is that? Adversarial networks. Okay, we
Mhm.
call it as GANs. Okay, that is the machine learning stuff. GANs is the main thing, and then variance autoencoder, and then transformer. If we combine all these technical stuffs together, we can come up with an area called generative AI.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
So you don't need to worry much things on technically when you are
Mhm.
studying about machine learning stuff. So by
Mhm.
that time you will hear these terms, whatever I have told you now. So
Mhm.
what I am trying to do is I am trying to make it simpler. Like if you are able to correlate what we are discussing here with your
Mhm.
machine learning classes in future, then it will be very, very helpful for you in your future.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Mhm.
I'm not showing any code. I'm just telling the stories, right?
Mhm.
So behind this artificial intelligence, there is a broad subset called generative AI. And that generative AI only we are calling it as Gen AI, Gen AI, Gen AI. Okay,
Mhm.
this is the shortest introduction of generative AI. So generative AI means then what this generative AI means? Generative AI is useful for you to generate some content. So the
Mhm.
content might be multimedia. You can generate a text, you can generate an image, you can generate videos as well.
Mhm.
Okay. And it all started with a paper called Attention is All You Need. Okay.
Mhm.
In 2017, there is a paper came in. Attention is all you need. Okay, just like this, and you will get a paper like this. So this is talking about an architecture called transformers. Okay,
Mhm.
with the transformers architecture only, they have come up with this Gen AI stuffs. So means that what it does, it was able to predict the next word accurately.
Mhm.
And also it was able to do the translations accurately from English to German like this. English to
Mhm.
French, English to German. How they achieved it? They have prepared a model called GPT, that is generative pre-trained transformer.
Mhm.
Okay, on top of that model, they were trying to execute this language translations. And
Mhm.
also they were trying to do the next word predictions. Okay,
Mhm.
this paper demonstrated all that capability and this came on 2017. Out
Mhm.
of from this paper, what happened? There were two kinds of transformer models are there. One is feed forward,
Mhm.
one is encoder only architecture, one is decoder only architecture, and another
Mhm.
one is encoder decoder. Okay,
Mhm.
encoder decoder, like anyway the term itself is saying, right, it is doing some kind of encoding and decoding behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's on transformers. Okay, so I don't want to dig deeper technically into it so that it will be very boring for you. And what's happening is, like, out of that they have built something called the GPTs. Okay,
Mhm.
generative pre-trained transformers. So these
Okay.
generative pre-trained transformers are capable of producing this text now. Okay,
Mhm.
so what they did, they have refined this research again and again, and they were trying to build something out of it, and out of it, they came up with a big thing called GPT 3.5. Sorry,
Mhm.
GPT 3. And from
Okay.
the GPT 3 only, this chat GPT came into field.
Mhm.
Okay, so these research and all were done by this GPT research and all were done by
Mhm.
OpenAI Labs.
Okay.
Okay. OpenAI is the company which did research on this one. So, OpenAI GPT. See, this is language models are on. unsupervised multitasking.
Mhm.
So this is the paper for GPT-2. Yeah, from this paper only they have come up with an idea called GPT-2. So in this, what they did, they have trained this model. Trained in the sense, training means like they were feeding a lot of tokens. Tokens means what? Like you can simply understand now a token is a word like this.
Mm.
Okay. So what they did, they built a large vocabulary. Like they built a large corpus of vocabulary. I can say.
Mhm.
So that vocabulary consists of lot of words. So they were simply feeding a lot of words into this, and they have prepared one big model. So that model is called GPT-2. That is generative pre-trained transformer tool. The term
Mhm.
itself is saying, right?
Yeah.
Generative Generative means that it is going to generate something out of your model, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
pre-trained. Pre-trained is you have already feeded it with a lot of words. Here you can see like this one. This model came up with multiple weights. One is 345 million and one is 762 million, right? So
Yeah.
what they did, they were trying to build a model with 345 million words,
Mm.
million tokens you can say. So for now you can understand a token is a word, okay? But in
Mhm.
future we will just change the definition when you are understanding it better. Okay.
Mhm.
So for now you can think of like this particular model is getting trained with 345 million words. That can be in either French, German, English, whatever it is. Okay.
Mhm.
They simply put all the language abilities and the system and the language construction abilities, right?
Mhm.
And then they have prepared a model called GPT-2. Okay, this
Mhm.
GPT-2 on top of it, they were trying to predict the next word, and it was exactly predicting as like human, how human is simulating it, right?
Mhm.
How our mind is thinking, right? The same way we have something called BERT also. That BERT was developed by Google.
Mhm.
Okay, there is another model called BERT, BERT.
Mhm.
Okay, BERT is from Google. BERT is a transformer based neural language, natural language model, right? So this one was developed by Google, BERT, and then this GPT-2, this one was developed by OpenAI. Okay,
Mhm. Okay.
this is the banyan tree starting point of the artificial intelligence arena. So everything got developed within this past 4 to 5 years only in the
Mm.
generative AI area.
Mm.
Okay, when we talk about generative AI, this is a complete new field, and this field is evolving very rapidly. Suppose
Mhm.
if I am showing you one thing today and tomorrow it might change. There is a high chances of changing,
Mm.
right? So this is why it's a rapidly evolving field and everyone is talking about it.
Mm.
Now you are able to understand the context behind it, right? You are able to
Yep.
grasp the things, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what we need. Okay. So this is how these text generation tools come into picture. Means that the text generation is nothing but this GPT-2. GPT-2 is generating text out of the context it already have it. Yeah, out of the knowledge it is already have.
Mm.
Okay. So in ChatGPT, what you are doing? ChatGPT is running on a model called GPT-4.
Mm.
GPT-4 is having a lot of variances. Out of GPT-4, again 4o is there, 4o mini is there, right?
Mhm.
Once they create something, yeah, on
Mm.
top of it, people will change that into a lot of stuffs, right?
Mm.
That's the habitual growth. Like
Yeah.
that's the evolvement, right?
Mhm.
So on see if some programming language is coming, Python was coming in, right?
Mhm.
Python was having a package support, right? On
Mhm.
top of Python, people started building it and they start refining this language, right?
Mm.
The same way, people started to train likewise. And now GPT-4, it is having trillions of tokens from
Mhm.
345 million to trillions
Yeah.
because they are having the access to this world data. They can completely access the public data for free.
Mm.
right? With that data, what they do, they simply train their systems,
Mm.
means that feed that systems with the tokens.
Mm.
Okay, these systems will contain the token, and based on that, it can understand the behavior of how you can speak,
Mm.
right? With that
Yeah.
only, it was able to construct the text.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wants to construct a sentence, right, then it needs to know the grammar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that grammar part is already pre-built in the name of this transformer architectures.
Okay.
Okay, how transformers work, that also we will see it in a visualized pattern. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what is all about generative AI. Okay, I just shared this notes just to
Mm-hmm.
want. I just want you to go through each and everything like what exactly here, and
Yeah.
you can correlate with whatever we have discussed so far.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so this is how Gen AI works. This is what is all about generative AI. Generative AI is nothing but you are having a creative kind of stuff. So it can create. So it's having a creativity, right? So with that
Mm.
creativity, along with your ideas, right, you can build some products out. So that
Mm.
so that it will be helpful for you as well as it will be helpful for your potential audience.
Mm.
So with that only, like generative AI, you can create text, you can create images, you can create videos out of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that just go through this content, okay, and try to
Mm-hmm.
understand what is here. And if you are unable to provide, if you are unable to understand anything, okay, please let me know.
Okay.
Okay. And then yeah, you can use this generative AI for doing coding as well,
Mm.
right? Yesterday also I asked you to go to ChatGPT and ask for assignments, right?
Yeah.
And it was generating solutions also. You can use that solutions also directly,
Mm-hmm.
right? But sometimes it hallucinates as well. Even though you don't know, it will simply provide you some output just to
Yeah.
satisfy you. That's it,
Uh-huh.
right? So that hallucination is the biggest disadvantage with generative AI, and that
Mm.
hallucinations will reduce according to your number of tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if your model is trained with a huge corpus, then the hallucination will reduce.
Mm-hmm.
If your model is having very less number of data, which is not at all related to the information you are feeding, then the hallucination will increase.
Mm-hmm.
Means that even though if you don't know about the context of the question which you are asking, then it will simply respond back to you and answer to satisfy you,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? So that happens with the generative AI, and that is the sin and that is the curse for generative AI.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cannot blindly believe the ChatGPT code
Mm.
until unless you are not able to understand the code. Please don't even ask a code from ChatGPT.
Mm.
Okay, that's why we have a Python class first, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now we know how Python works,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with this understanding, if you are getting a Python code, so
Mm-hmm.
that if some error comes in, then you can jump and fix it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what we did was we just enabled the ability for you to understand Python,
Mm-hmm.
and then now we are jumping into the generative AI. So now if I am writing something in Python, or if ChatGPT is giving you a code to write something in Python, you
Mm-hmm.
can correlate with your previous understanding and try to see where exactly the issue is if you are
Mm-hmm.
facing any errors in the code,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can ask, like, nowadays, like in the coding area, like this is getting better and better,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was using Gen AI tools for coding from since 2021, like some 3 years back itself.
Okay.
By the inception of ChatGPT itself, I started following this, and I am
Mm-hmm.
slowly adapting this ChatGPT into my day to day basis routine.
Mm.
Okay, if I am building something, if I am facing some issues, I go to ChatGPT. Likewise, I was doing. Okay,
Mm.
now Claude is the one which recently impressed me a lot comparing to
Yeah.
ChatGPT. These are
Mhm.
the class ability, right? It was creating a website and it was giving me the
Yeah.
website itself as a library,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So this is how this Gen AI area works. Okay. And then now we see how the text generation tools work.
Mhm.
Okay, text generation tool means, as I told you earlier, this model means what? Our knowledge repository, which is
Mhm.
already having the knowledge, means that which is already having the tokens, that is
Mhm.
already having these words,
Mhm.
right? So in that knowledge, there are some mechanisms also built in, which
Mhm.
will take care of whenever we are asking something. Out of
Mhm.
that, this mechanism will work on that knowledge and it will fetch it and it will give it. Take for an example, you are going inside a library. Okay. So
Mhm.
in that library, you might have some millions of books.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't know how to search a book, right? So there
Mhm.
and all, consider that you might have some 4 5 assistants over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just go to an assistant and ask for a book, right?
Mhm.
So what they will do, they will simply go to that entire library and they will search for your particular book. If they
Uh-huh.
are indexed properly, they can simply see the index and they will go there and they will
Yeah.
take out a particular book for you and they will give it to you for reading.
Mm.
Right? The same way behind the scenes, like a library, this model is working.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
Just try to
Yeah.
correlate like this. If I am saying this as a story, why I am
Mhm.
saying this? Just want you to picturize this so that
Mhm.
this can be easily correlated.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so this is how the same way, like this is how a model works, right? So in
Mhm.
that model itself, in your library itself, right, there might
Mhm.
be books, right? There
Yeah.
might be CD cassettes,
Mm.
right? There might be pen drives, there might be some media, right? There might
Mhm.
be images, image collections, right? So whatever you ask, accordingly only it will get it to, right?
Mm.
Consider you are entering into a text library that is containing only textbooks, right?
Yeah.
So those are called as text models, that is large language model because it
Mhm.
contains the language. It is having this linguistic stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so that is called as the large language model because that is having huge number of language data. In
Mm.
language data, in the sense, be it your programming, right? Your
Mhm.
programming is what? That is also in English language, right?
Yeah.
So your programming is a language stuff, right? The same way you might have uh, what's that? Like German, French,
Yeah.
Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi, whatever it
Mhm.
is, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a language, right?
Yep. Mhm.
So you might have this language into this models.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in a large collection. That's why we are calling it as large language models. The name
Mhm.
itself is in generative AI, everything is simple. If you are able to decode that name, right, you will get at least 50% out of it.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, you can easily get 50 percentage out of the context, like what it is trying to say.
Mhm.
Okay, so that way you can easily understand how this is working. Okay,
Mhm.
so with that LLM, okay, you can do the text generation.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
there is a small example in Python. This is not AI. Okay, what we are
Mhm.
trying to do is here I am giving a text. Okay,
Mhm.
consider this as your training data. I can say
Mhm.
training data means you are training your model. You are
Mm.
going to feed your model with some information. So now your model will be this word dictionary. Okay.
Okay.
So what you
Mm.
are doing, these sentences, you can split it using this text splitter. Right. So
Mhm.
these things and all we have already covered in Python. Right. So this
Yeah.
text is already holding my sentence. And that sentence, I am splitting it using the split function. The split function will split it based on this space delimiter.
Mhm.
Right? It will simply split all these words like I as a separate word, love as a separate word, to as a
Mhm.
separate word. Eat as a separate word, Italy as a separate word, right? So
Yeah.
here I have another space. So it will take Italy dot like this. Likewise, it will simply split everything and it will simply store all these words here
Mm.
in these words, right? So
Mhm.
after that, what I am trying to do, I am trying to create a word dictionary with a key
Yeah.
value pair. Okay, now I have
Mhm.
I. So after this I, there might be possibility that I might have the next word as love or hate or enjoy,
Mm.
right? These three verbs. So these three verbs will come after my subject, like after my this one, I,
Mm.
like this.
Mm.
So likewise, you are creating a word dictionary. Okay, this word dictionary is going to be your LLM, your language model, like this.
Mm.
Okay, so here what it is doing, it is simply going word by word and it is creating a dictionary. So in this dictionary, it will be a key value pair, and for your every key, okay, it will have the next coming words, likewise.
Okay.
So for everything, love means two should be coming next, right? In all the
Mhm.
cases, two should be coming next, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
The same way, two means next eat should be coming. Eat means next one should be either idli or biryani or dosa. Likewise, so for creating a sentence transformer, right? Sentence creator, right? We are just splitting up the words and we are giving the dictionary with the predictions. Next
Mhm.
word predictions. If my first word is this, then my next word should be like this.
Mm.
Likewise. So out of that, what I am doing again, I am trying to generate a sentence by giving only the word as I. If I am giving I, there is a huge number of possibility that my next word will be either love or hate or enjoy, right?
Mhm.
And then after that, if you predict this second word, then again it can predict the third word. And again it can predict the fourth word. Again it can predict the fifth word. And finally it can complete a sentence.
Mhm.
Right? For
Yeah.
that, actually, we have written a Python program for this simple stuff. Like if this is my training data, and after
Mhm.
that, if I am simply giving like, if I give love, okay, my
Mhm.
next sentence will be I love to eat idli only. So what it will
Mhm.
do, it will simply predict it.
Mm.
Okay, it can predict sentences like this.
Okay.
Okay, simply just ignore how the code is working. What I am trying to say is like there might be like I was just trying to showcase you how these LLMs work. Okay.
Mm.
If you are able to visualize this, visualize how this is working. Okay.
Mm.
Then based on that, you can see this is doing a random choice. Instead of
Mm.
doing that, if you are running something which can similarly, which can which can act like instead of bringing something random, right? In
Mm.
that, if you are doing a calculation with your prediction,
Mhm.
right, I can show you the expected output, like what you are thinking in your mind, right?
Mhm.
So that kind of magic is happening in this text generation. How that is happening? That's because of the transformers.
Mhm.
Yeah, this transformers is the key technology behind this text generation tools. The text generation tool is nothing but our model. So the
Mm.
model is what? If you go to chatgpt.com, this is getting powered by two models. Either it will be ChatGPT plus or ChatGPT, right? So here, if I am asking something like uh, anything like make me a personal page or something like that, okay?
Mm.
It is generating some output like this, right? So how this text generation is happening? So this is happening because behind the scenes there is a model. That model is nothing but this GPT-4o.
Mhm.
Okay, if you click on this drop down, you can see there are two models. So these models are responsible for creating this output. So
Mhm.
means that this model was already pre-trained with these words.
Mhm.
Okay, when you are asking some questions like this, it will break down this question into words, right? And it will try to formulate some relationship between this, and it will check your word library. And based on that, you will get some subset of resulting words. And out of your resulting words, it will create the sentences and it is showing it to you.
Mhm.
Okay, how exactly it is showing? See, this is because it is having the ability to construct these words based on the grammar,
Mm.
right? So that's how a human thinks of, right? The
Mm.
same way they have created something like this. So so there is how this next word is getting generated, right? So first of all, if it is saying here are three questions, right? So first it will predict here, and then it will go to this R, and then it will generate this three, and then it will generate these questions, right?
Yeah.
Likewise, only it keeps on generating. So there is some relationships between in between. So the next word prediction. So that next word prediction is looping here, and because of that only you are getting a response.
Mm.
Okay, so with that next words predictions is happening behind the scenes of transformers. Okay, you can use this tool to visualize how a transformer is working.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is called as transformer explainer. Okay. So the very first time when you run this, it will take some time to download because this is having some 600 MB of inbuilt memory. That is
Mm.
actually downloading GPT-2 into your browser. Okay, that is
Mm.
having some 300 million words, right? Now we saw
Yeah.
in the paper. So with the downloaded GPT-2,
Mhm.
it is already having some words, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Suppose in case if I am trying to ask, if I am trying to start a sentence like this, okay? As
Mm.
I say, like I love to eat or something like that. I love to, likewise, if I am giving, okay?
Mhm.
So if I am, or else I hate, likewise, I will.
Mm.
Okay, we will spread hate now. So
Mhm.
if I do, if I put I hate and if I am clicking and generate,
Mhm.
what happens? It is embedding these two things. That is I and hate. It is
Mhm.
simply splitting this into two words. That is two tokens. Okay. This token is having an embedding of 40 and this
Mhm.
hate is having an embedding of 5465. So what it is doing, it is just converting this into a numerical representation.
Mhm.
Okay, and after that, it will go to this. Okay, so now it will go to this multi-head self-attention. So this is the
Mhm.
next layer. Okay, see,
Mhm.
you want to see a transformer architecture. I am telling you machine learning stuff. Okay,
Mhm.
here what it is doing embedding, right? After
Mhm.
that, this is called the self-attention. Okay,
Mm.
so this self-attention will take care of. See, we studied a paper called attention is all you need, right? So that
Mhm.
is this attention only. Okay, this
Mm.
attention will convert your I and hate as key,
Mhm.
query, and value. Okay, and it
Mhm.
is saying that multi-head means that this might contain multiple layers in between down the line. Okay, and
Mm.
then again there is a layer called MLP. In that MLP, right? So it will simply do a vector search.
Yeah.
Okay, and it will try to find this vector search in
Mhm.
all these blocks, the words which you are already having, and
Mm.
it will try to match it with a similarity. Okay, with that
Mhm.
similarity, your probability might be the next word probability might be either you. Okay,
Mm.
so that's how it is predicting this word. This token ID, see, it is showing token ID. Token ID is nothing but the numerical representation of this particular word, that token.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is how it is predicting the next word and it is showing.
Mm.
Okay, try playing this with this transformer explainer. Go through
Okay.
each and every segment so that you can able to understand.
Mm.
Okay, anyway, if you are studying machine learning, this transformer is the advanced concept of machine learning.
Mm.
See token embedding, positional encoding, multi-head self-attention, I told, right? So inside that query key value is having a composition
Mm.
layer. So backend, they are doing one computation. There is some calculation. See allergic formulas.
Mhm.
Very, very weak in mathematics. So I don't want to do the decoding of this stuff. I hate mathematics. But
Same.
machine learning is running on mathematics, right?
Mhm.
So if we want to know machine learning, then surely we should know mathematics. So that's
Mm.
why I'm not studying machine learning. Okay, simplest explanation. Right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So this is how the transformers works. You can go through this, right? And this
Mhm.
will help you to understand and visualize how a transformer is working. So this transformer is the backend stuff for all these language models, large language models, whatever we are seeing, right?
Mhm.
All these things and all, like, will be working on top of this transformers.
Mhm.
Okay, and then there, that's what we saw a model, right? So here we use this GPT-2. This one was
Mm.
downloading GPT-2. Okay, the very
Mhm.
first time when I'm loading it, see this, it is showing while GPT-2 model is being downloaded, right?
Mm.
What it is doing, it is simply downloading that 600 MB into my in-browser memory.
Mm.
Okay, inside my browser memory only it is executing.
Mm.
Yeah, so that is also an LLM because that is having 100 plus millions of tokens.
Mhm.
Right, 300 plus is the real GPT-2, but this is having a smaller version.
Yeah.
Okay, likewise, GPT-3 is there. GPT-3 is having millions of tokens, billions of tokens.
Mhm.
GPT-4 is now trained with trillions of tokens, like this,
Mhm.
trillions of data. Means
Yeah.
that it knows each and every language. You can write it in Swahili, you can write it in whatever African language, Indian language, or
Mm.
any continent language it knows.
Mhm.
Okay, I can ask it to write a poem in any language. It is
Mm.
having that ability to construct it.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so that's how this kind of LLMs work. And in this, we have three popular tools. One is ChatGPT, and other one is Gemini,
Mhm.
and third one is Claude.
Yeah.
Okay, so these things, this ChatGPT is nothing but it is providing you a chat interface to chat with the GPT,
Mhm.
generative pre-trained text transform. Okay, the terminology is looking fancy,
Mhm.
generative pre-trained transform like this. So
Mhm.
the terminology impresses a lot. So yeah, that's why
Mhm.
they are just actually that is nothing. Actually, it's running on a transformer,
Mhm.
and that is running on the model called GPT 3.5, GPT 4.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now it is GPT 4o 4 mini like this, and after
Mm.
some time they will come up with GPT 5 as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so ChatGPT is one such tool, and Gemini is one such tool, and Claude is one such tool. We have
Yeah.
already experimented Claude, right? The
Mhm.
same way, we have something called Gemini as well. Gemini is from Google.
Mhm.
Okay, Google
Yeah.
released this Gemini. And ChatGPT is released by this OpenAI. OpenAI is the
Mhm.
person who is behind the ChatGPT.
Mhm.
Okay, OpenAI is responsible for ChatGPT. It is just, I just gave a small write-up of what ChatGPT is doing, and then what Gemini is doing, and
Mhm.
then what Claude is doing.
Yeah.
Okay, you just go through this text. I don't want to read and bore
Mhm.
you. Okay?
Mm.
And also, let's try doing a simple practical exercise.
Mm.
Close our tabs. So now I will open ChatGPT first. Chat tab, ChatGPT. Okay, and also I can access Gemini like Gemini.google.
Mm.
And then I can access Claude. Claude.ai. So I asked you to create account on these three
Yeah.
tools, right? Why?
Mhm.
Because if you do something in these tools, then it will become a regular habit for you to
Yeah.
use these tools. Okay. Anyway, in future, we are going to use these tools for our aid.
Yeah.
Right? Aid in the sense writing assignments,
Yeah.
submit submission of assignments, everything will
Yeah.
be easier now.
Yeah.
I am missing these tools. I was missing these tools in my college. Today I use these tools to stop the escape from the torture of my lecturers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I ask like describe about generative AI, so let's
Mm.
feed the same term, same prompt into these three tools. Okay, ChatGPT. If I am doing that, what's happening? Behind the scenes, I explained you. I showed the transformer, right? So it's going into
Mm.
the transformer, and the transformer is responsible for that. Transformer is nothing. Your library's assistant.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told you an example to visualize, right?
Mhm.
You are going and searching a book, right? So by that time, what you are doing, you are going to the assistant and asking for that book. Then
Mm.
and that assistant will manually. That assistant is a person. He will simply go to each and every place, and your assistant will search for the book and he will give it to you, right?
Mm.
Take for an this take this as you, and you are asking your assistant this question.
Mm.
So your assistant is transformers. So the transformers goes into large language model, that is GPT-4o, and inside that model it dig deeper and it find this information. And this is how it is showing.
Mm.
Okay. It's giving you some output. So it looks somewhat better.
Mm.
Right? Generative AI refers to a class of artificial intelligence, how AI works, types of generative AI models. Right? In this, we have language model, image generator, audio and music generator, code generator, right?
Mhm.
And we have applications also, content creation, chatbot, programming, art and design. For everything, we can use generative AI.
Mhm.
And then we have ChatGPT for language, Tally for creative images. See, they are listing their competitor, Gemini 1.4. This is
Mm.
Google's model. Okay.
Mhm.
And they are telling the challenges in generative AI. As I told you, these are
Mhm.
from the existing learning. So there
Mhm.
might be some chances that it might produce you some
Mm.
harmful content, potential violation, right?
Yeah.
Biased content,
Mm.
right? And also biased content means if something is supporting blacks, whites, right?
Yeah.
There is some kind of racism related content.
Yeah.
Because everything might have been trained, right? So everything
Mm.
is pre-trained. Some of the things they could have done on the content filtering itself,
Yeah.
but they cannot do everything in detail, right? So there
Mm.
might be
Yep.
chances that your trained model might have an unquality of data
Mm.
and also misinformation. So actually, if you ask me, like these and all are creative writers. Okay,
Mm.
they are not a contextual writers. Means that
Mm.
they didn't rely on. You cannot rely on this information.
Yeah.
It's not. You cannot write a research paper with ChatGPT.
Mm. Yep.
If you do that, then your research will be gone. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So yeah, you can use it as an aid to summarize your content, whatever you have produced. So see, if
Yeah.
I have some 20 pages of topic, and if I want to summarize that 20 pages, that time you can use ChatGPT. That is correct.
Mm.
But you cannot rely on ChatGPT's information.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, there is whatever content it is generating. Okay, make
Mhm.
sure to check that before going to submission number. Suppose
Mm.
if you are submitting an assignment with the help of ChatGPT,
Yeah.
please read that assignment and submit it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, otherwise, if you are directly submit it and if it is having any biased information,
Mhm.
then surely your professor will roast you
Mhm. Yeah.
this question. Right? So this is how ChatGPT works.
Yep.
Same question if you ask Gemini, right?
Mhm.
What Gemini will do? Gemini will also provide me the information, whatever the response I want. Okay.
Mm.
So within this box, we are giving an input, right? So this is called as a prompt.
Mm.
Okay, so this one we are calling it as prompt. So this is called as a prompt text box. So inside that prompt, you are giving this, right? So this prompt itself will have multiple tokens. So now
Mhm.
you have 1, 2, 3, 4 tokens. If we consider a word as a token,
Uh-huh.
okay. The same way here also tokens are there. But every model is trained in a way,
Mhm.
different ways to consider a token. Okay. All models will not have the same token analogy.
Mhm.
Okay, every model is having a different kind of assumption. Okay. So
Mhm.
here GPT-4 will not consider this as 4 tokens. Sorry, one,
Mm.
two, three. So these 4 tokens it might consider this as 5 tokens.
Yeah.
It might consider this as 6 tokens. Maybe it might consider this alone as a word,
Mhm.
right? This alone as a token, like this. So every model will have
Mhm.
different kind of tokenized architecture.
Mhm.
So that's why you are getting different outputs from models.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this Gemini AI, see, it is saying creative workforce, right? So the way it writes and the way it writes differs, right? See, first it is giving a summary, and after that
Mhm.
it is numbering it, and it is giving me a detailed explanation of what it is doing, right?
Mhm.
Even if I change the model here itself, this also will change, like this response also will change.
Yeah.
See, now previously it was giving me 1, 2, 3, 4. Now see, everything that changed.
Mhm.
And that too, it is giving me some technical terms as well. Generative
Mhm.
adversarial network. I told you, right? There is something called GAN, variance autoencoder, and transformers.
Mm.
Okay, so these are all related to this Gen AI.
Mm.
Okay, now I have two varieties of response. The first variety of response looks readable.
Yeah.
Even a person who don't know machine learning, they can simply
Mhm.
read and understand. The
Yeah.
second variety of response is having a lot of technical stuff. See here,
Mhm.
here I have a technical stuff,
Yeah.
right? Here I have a technical stuff. Here I have a technical stuff, right? To
Mm.
understand this, it will be difficult, right?
Yeah.
So that depends on model to model. Your model will respond based on the you will get a good response based on which model you are choosing. Okay?
Mm.
And Gemini is giving me a different response. See here it is starting with a called with something called a creative force like this, right? So it's giving different stuffs. And it is giving me references as well. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Claude, if I am asking, Claude is also giving me something similar to
Mhm.
what ChatGPT is giving. And Claude will ask you a question at the end. Would you like me to elaborate like this? It will
Mm.
always wait for your response.
Mm.
Okay. So this is called as conversation. And in that conversation, whatever you are typing next, that also will be remembered along with this complete information. So that's called
Mhm.
as in memory, like this, chat memory.
Mm.
Okay, it will simply remember everything within your complete chat. If you create a new chat, then this memory will become.
Mm.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
also generating a different content. This is also generating a different
Yeah.
content. And this is also generating.
Mhm.
So this is how these tools work, and every tool is having different steps. Okay, and then if you see there is another thing called perplexity. Okay, perplexity is also good.
Mm.
And perplexity will give me links for internet as well.
Mhm.
And it will cite me sources also. See, I took this generative information from here, like,
Yeah.
and it will provide me an answer.
Mm.
Right? It looks more summative.
Yeah.
It's looking a more summary.
Mhm.
Right? If I want to create some images also according to that prompt, whatever I have given, so I
Mhm.
can simply in the right side there is an ability. So you can click on search images, right? It will simply search the web for these images.
Yeah.
right? And if you search videos, it will simply search this related videos everywhere in the internet,
Yeah.
right? If I click on generate image, I need Pro.
Mm.
So this is how Perplexity works.
Mm.
Perplexity is really good when
Mm.
we are using it for some kind of writing purposes.
Mm.
If you want to create some Wikipedia data, then you can use Perplexity.
Mm.
Okay, and it will suggest you some more questions.
Mm.
And if you click on that, again it runs on the map. It will provide you some more answers based on the information it gathers in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this. So Perplexity is working in this fashion. Okay, and everything is having a subscription model. Perplexity charges me. I click on generate image. Perplexity charges me $20 a month.
Mm.
Right? Cloud also charges me around $20 in this. Here also, if I upgrade the plan, subscribe to the Pro, this is also $20. Everything is $20 now.
Mm.
Yeah, but Gemini is the good thing. Gemini is not asking money now,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure. Maybe in future.
Yeah.
Here also there is something called a Gemini Advanced. They will charge money over. That is coming along with my Google Pro, Google One.
Mm.
Okay, if I have Google One account, then there and all you can use this Gemini Pro models.
Mm.
So this is 1950 per month. But these guys are good guys. They are giving me storage also. 2 TB
Mm-hmm.
of storage and then
Yeah.
Gmail docs everywhere I can use.
Mm.
That's how Google is marketing Gemini. And then in OpenAI also, you can upgrade this plan. Okay, $20 a month.
Mm.
Anyway, free version itself is more than sufficient to explore
Yeah.
all these models. Yeah, just start exploring these models and get familiarized yourself
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
this. Also, like now we have accessed it through these prompts, right?
Mm.
Same way we can access these models, like these underlying models, this GPT-4o, right? This Google Gemini, Gemini 1.5. This is
Mm-hmm.
called as Gemini 1.5 Pro. Okay,
Yeah.
so we can access this programmatically as well. So for that,
Mm.
we have something called this playgrounds.
Mm.
Okay, so this is called as, there is something called platform.openai. Okay, here you can get the API key.
Mm.
You can go to this playground. Here also, this is also looking like ChatGPT interface, right?
Yeah.
So there you can test any model, like any model you want. See, I told about ChatGPT, GPT 3.5 and all. So
Yeah.
these things and all will be there, and you can choose any model you want, and you can go to this API reference,
Mm.
and you can use this APIs, OpenAI, to access this programmatically.
Mm.
Okay, so for that, these people will do billing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in this billing, you need to add your credit card so that, and also you can do a pay as you go model. Means that you can add it to the
Yeah.
credit balance first, and with that credit balance, you can utilize this through the program using APIs.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is how you can do it through building. Here you can see your APIs. User APIs. Yeah. Here if you go, you can create a secret key, and with the secret key you can access this. Okay, so this is how
Mm.
OpenAI works. And the same way you have something called AI Studio, Google. Okay, so here you can access this Gemini 1.5 Pro models as well. 1.5 Pro. These and all are the models from Google. Okay. If you want to access this programmatically, click on this get API key, right? So this API key is free actually. So with this API key, you can access this Gemini model through programmatically. You can do a curl as well. Curl, right? So this is an internal command to access the web. Okay, you can test APIs using this curl command. In your command prompt, if you are just simply putting this, okay, so it will work. So take for an example, copy this. Uh, I need to add my key also. Then only to. So here they are telling that your API key. So here I can create an API key. Right. So this is I just created some projects already in my Google Cloud. See, this is my API, right? And this API key, if I am putting here, right? So now it is asking this question. So instead of that, I can ask like describe about generating a. So now this will give me a response. So I need to copy this. I need to put it in the command prompt. This will just to let's not open. That'll say this. Instead of putting a slash, we will put everything as a single line. Here copying this. This is just to test the model. See, it's trying to access. Now it is showing port was not a decimal number between 0 and 65 by 30. Something, some port issues. So it's not able to access the sequence. Okay, you can use curl also to test your APIs.
Okay.
Just to see like how your API is like this. Okay, so this is a quick overview, like a 1 hour boring session on this complete generative AI and text generation tools along with that elements. Hope you get some picture out of it. Like Divya, or are you able to, if you are unable to understand anything, please let me know. So we will go through that also.
Yeah.
Are you able to get it or?
No, I'm able to get it. Yeah. So far, it's okay. It's going good.
So today we have completed this one. That is, think we are going good. And on tomorrow's class, we will use this AI as our aid to create programming, to use programs, okay, and how we can leverage this AI tools to generate code, right? So we already saw an example on Claude itself, right? So
Yeah.
using Claude and ChatGPT, we will try to build some tools.
Mm.
And also we will talk about prompt engineering. Okay,
Yeah.
this is trending right now. Like how, as I told you, right? This window is called prompt window. So
Yeah.
whatever question you are asking, this is called as a prompt. So this prompt itself, there are a lot of ways. Okay. So there are a lot of things you need to consider when you are crafting a good prompt, because anyway that prompt is usable. We saw like now API is chargeable, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be very careful on crafting prompts so that you will incur very less charge. You don't need to ask multiple questions to get out a response, right?
Yeah.
So for that particular purpose, now prompt engineering is also trending. It's not the biggest stuff. Like it's like how you are constructing the grammar to ask a right question.
Yeah.
Okay? Asking right questions. That's all about prompt engineering. And tomorrow we will see brief about it. And then we will try to build something like Python code generated by stuff using this Gemini and Fast API.
Okay.
Fast API we have already discussed.
Mm.
yesterday. I introduced you fast.
Yeah.
You remember? So that also I brought it in the curriculum so that
Mm-hmm.
you can get some clear idea how the plastic means.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this we will use cursor ideas. Cursor.
Mm-hmm.
Not only Gemini and plastic. So that we can create a code generator using A.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, means that in that request you can pass your question, and out of that it should give you a code as a response.
Mm.
Okay, so that's about today's class. Sorry, this is about today's class,
Mm-hmm.
and this is for tomorrow's class.
Mm.
When I slept. Okay. Yeah, Divya, that's all for today's class.
Okay.
Please let me know if you have any doubts.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
sure.
please feel free to so that we
Mhm.
can continue on.
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.